recognize the gentleman of the Kamanggagawa party list, the Honorable Elijah Rumbao San Fernando, to avail of the privilege hour.
To the congressperson of the party list Kamanggagawa, Representative Elijah Rumbao San Fernando. You are recognized, sir. Please proceed.
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, and to all our fellow workers inside and outside the halls of Congress, magandang hapon po. Ang paksa po na aking tatalakayin ngayon ay pumapatungkol sa pangako ng pag-asenso. As the economy grows and develops, we are forced to ask, who is included and who is left behind? As we review the common legislative agenda for the 20th Congress, we at the Kamanggagawa Party List express our grave concern on behalf of the workers who are the true driving force who prop up our economy. Sa pagtakda ng mga prioridad ng administrasyon, mukhang napag-iwanan naman ang mga manggagawa. The Legislative Executive Development Advisory Council, or LEDAC, is tasked with synchronizing the legislative agenda with our national development goals. As an advisory and consultative body key in developing the national legislative framework, it mobilizes Congress to prioritize legislation, often to the exclusion of other measures. Sa madaling sabi po, Mr. Speaker, makikita sa LEDAC ang pangunahing batas na nais maipatupad ng administrasyon. Let us begin by reminding ourselves of the priorities of LEDAC. Section 1 of RA 7640 dictates that the body shall act in accordance with its constitutional mandate to promote a more equitable distribution of opportunities, income, and wealth, and expand productivity as a key to raising the quality of life for all, especially the underprivileged. Our President himself has made pronouncements to this effect. At the Philippine Development Forum 2025, PBBM said, "We committed to generate jobs, accelerate poverty reduction, and transform our economy into one that is inclusive, resilient, and ready for the future." At the National Employment Summit, he said, "Let us lay the groundwork to ensure a decade of meaningful employment and economic growth." Sa konteksto ng pagkilala ng mga pangakong nakasaad sa batas at sa mga salitang binitawan mismo ng ating Pangulo, lumalakas po ang ating loob na maningil. Sa priority agenda, nasaan ang pagtaas ng sahod ng mga manggagawa? Nasaan ang mga batas na nakabalangkas sa pagkilala sa mga hinaing ng mga trabahante? We assert that worker-centric bills and a legislated wage increase should not be a mere afterthought of LEDAC. As workers are a vital element to national development, so too should legislation that addresses their needs be a priority of government. This is not just an economic imperative, but a moral one too. Our economic context demands bold action. From 2001 to 2024, our GDP, o ang pangkalahatang kita po ng ating bansa, has more than tripled, implying massive economic growth. Let us be clear. This is in large part due to the sustained and steadily increasing efforts of our workers as exemplified in the near doubling of labor productivity during that period. Ang ating ekonomiya ay lumalago habang tumataas ang produktibidad ng ating mga manggagawa. Following the promise of inclusive growth, shouldn't workers also enjoy the benefits of this growth? The sad reality, Mr. Speaker, is that workers have been tragically left behind by our economy. Nominal minimum wage increases have not kept up to pace with the havoc that inflation has caused on our wage earners. Sa tabi ng kakarampot na pagtaas ng sahod, hindi dumadali ang buhay ng mga manggagawa at ordinaryong Pilipino. Indeed, the increase of salaries are a mere illusion when we consider the increase in price of goods and services. Mr. Speaker, mga kasama, the last legislated wage increase was in 1989, 36 years ago. Back then, the minimum wage was 89 pesos, compensating for the inflation that is equivalent to a real wage of 572 pesos by today's standards. Contrast this to today's average national minimum wage of 493 pesos. Ibig kong sabihin, Mr. Speaker at mga kasama, mas marami pang nabibiling produkto ang minimum wage noong 1989 kaysa sa ngayon. Sa harap ito ng sinasabing paglago ng ating ekonomiya. Wage increases then are not about growth, but about recovery, and a failing recovery at that. In this equation, we have not even considered the farce that is the provincial rate, where we have witnessed the real stagnation and lowering of workers' wages, especially at the margins of society. Remembering that labor productivity has almost doubled, it is tragic that the average pay for workers across the board has grown by a mere 16%. The data paints a clear picture. While the economy grows, it is primarily the businesses that have benefited. Yumayaman ang mga negosyante habang napag-iiwanan ang mga manggagawa. Is this the inclusive growth that our laws and our president promise? Critics of wage increases, who are often business elites or academics who follow their doctrines, often point to their impact on employment and inflation. A study from the UP School of Labor and Industrial Relations, or UP Soler, belies these claims, finding that, and I quote, wage increases can have no impact on employment, while its effect on inflation is, and I quote, very small and in fact insignificant, end of quote. These elites furthermore cite that the benefits that employers enjoy would eventually be felt by workers. This is known as trickle-down economics. Yet, it is our president himself who has conceded that trickle-down economics is a failure back in a speech as a senator in 2015. Given the above, Mr. Speaker, the exclusion of labor-centric legislative initiatives from the common legislative agenda is fundamentally misguided and unjust. Aside from wage increases, we insist, Mr. Speaker, that other pro-labor measures be considered, including those which tackle the problem of contractualization both in the private and public sectors. Finally, we ask for the full consideration of the integrity of our labor framework, which extends beyond wages. It is deeply troubling that the LEDAC priority measures have no mention of reinforcing the right to freedom of association, upholding the provisions of the International Labor Organization, Convention number 87, which the Republic of the Philippines has ratified, is a solemn commitment. Freedom of association, the right to organize and collectively bargain, is a fundamental human and economic right. It is the workers' primary tool for ensuring fair economic participation and recovering the value of their labor. All of this is in the context of worsening attacks on our trade unionists and our consistent placing among international observers as being among the worst countries for workers. Mr. Speaker, we must affirm the right to freedom of association as a non-negotiable fundamental right that must be protected, promoted, and actively enforced in all legislative agenda. Our critique of the LEDAC agenda is that it fundamentally misdiagnoses the problem of our economy. Tinitignan po ng administrasyong ito ang mga manggagawa bilang consumer lamang na kailangang bigyan ng tulong at hindi bilang isang producer na dapat bigyan ng sapat na sahod. We see this reflected in the priority list, amendments to the Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino Program or 4Ps Act, and the assistance to individuals in crisis situations, AICS, and the amendments to the Universal Healthcare Act. These are necessary social nets, Mr. Speaker. Yes, but they are fundamentally measures of damage control. They address the symptoms of low income, hunger, lack of healthcare, poverty, by giving dole-outs and subsidies instead of addressing the root cause, the pathetically low wage in the marketplace. These measures perpetuate a cycle of dependency. We are forced to legislate charity because we refuse to legislate economic justice. More than that, we see business-friendly laws that provide tax amnesty and governance-centric laws which miss the mark entirely. Mr. Speaker, mga kasama, the very question of prioritization implies a constant tension between the different elements of our economy. Sa pagtuon ng atensyon sa isang sektor, minsan ay nakakalimutan ng iba. This is unfortunately reflected in the LEDAC agenda, which prioritizes businesses and patronage over workers. The promise of progress, ang pangako ng pag-asenso, must not be reserved for the few. True progress means that the hands that build our nation also share in its fruits. We cannot speak of development while our workers go hungry. We cannot speak of productivity without recognizing those at its core. Our call to the administration is simple, Mr. Speaker. Let us go back to the drawing board and think of our workers. Fellow lawmakers, we at the Kamanggagawa Party List ask for nothing more than the alignment and unity of workers and government. Ipaglaban po natin ang dignidad ng ating mga manggagawa. Revise the LEDAC to include a legislated and a national wage increase and other pro-worker measures. Failing that, we as Congress should push for these initiatives ourselves. Only through this can we fulfill the promises of the law and uphold our end of the bargain between worker and government. Yun lamang po. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Speaker at mga kasama.
Maraming salamat, Kamanggagawang Party List, Congressman Eli San Fernando. I share agrees with you. Thank you, sir. Majority Leader.